some Sufi love going through here. So he's talking about the union of lovers, and sometimes it isn't clear whether he's talking about union with God, union with the divine, or just union with lovers, because he gets so carried away by it that one wonders if he's really talking about physical love. So here, I know of a youth and a girl, 173, who were very much in love with each other. In the course of one of the interviews with her, the young man made a slightly improper suggestion. At this, the girl exclaimed, "Well, I shall make a public complaint against you, put you to shame." Some days later, the girl found herself in the company of great princes and leading statesmen. Present also were a great number of women, of servants, against whom it would be well to be on one's guard. The youth in question was in the concourse, for he was on the entourage of the master of ceremonies. Other singing girls besides were in attendance. When it came to her turn to sing, she tuned her lute and chanted the following words. So she obviously embarrassed him with this poem. Lovers, for the most part, employ as their messengers to the beloved either a humble or insignificant fellow to whom nobody will pay any attention because of his youthful or scruffy look or untidy appearance, or a respectable person of whom no sort of suspicion would attach on account of the piety or because of their advancement in years. Women, too, are frequently used, especially those hobbling on canes, or who carry beads, or wrapped in red cloaks. You get a good picture of society back then. I remember how in Cordoba young women had been put on guard against such types whenever they might happen to see women plying a trade or a profession, and here you get the professions, which give them ready access to people, are popular with lovers. The lady doctor, the bloodletter, the peddler, the broker, the coiffeuse, the professional mourner, the singer, the soothsayer, the schoolmistress, the errand girl, the spinner, the weaver. That's about everybody, it seems, huh? They could be convenient to employ a person who is closely related to the beloved and will therefore not be begrudged admittance. How many an inaccessible maiden has proved approachable by messengers such as this? Further along. I was once well acquainted with a man of Cordoba, the son of a principal clerk of the civil service. His name was Ahmed ibn Fat. And I always knew him as a circumspect, keen student of science and letters, and reserved, excellent with his companions, great dignity. He was never to be seen but in the most virtuous circles. His conduct was beyond reproach. Kept to himself, then the fates decreed that we should be separated because of the political dislocation of the time. The first news that came to me after I had taken up residence in this other town called, I don't know where this is, Yativa, was that he had cast off all restraints, and this is man-to-man love here, on falling in love with a certain goldsmith's son called Ibrahim ibn Ahmad. I knew this young man well enough to be aware of his qualities did not merit his being loved by a person of good family, such as the one I was describing. Then I had it confirmed that my friend had uncovered his head, shown his face abroad, cast off his burnous head scarf, bared his countenance, rolled up his sleeves, and had given himself totally over to the lusts of the flesh. But in time, the object of his passion ran away from him altogether. And see, he could have spared himself all these troubles if he just kept far from it all. So he goes on about that sort of thing. Next little episode, 175 at the bottom. One of the wonderful things that occur in love is the way the lover submits to the beloved. So all these incredible sensitive things about love in his time. 177, for instance. I've never seen anything equal to the helpfulness of women. They are far more helpful than men in keeping love secret. That is true. Women love to help others in love, in counseling each other to be discreet and in cooperating to conceal it whenever they happen to know of such an affair. I've never in my life known a woman to reveal the secret of a loving couple, except that she was hated, loathed, unanimously condemned by all of her sisters. Old women are even better than young girls in this matter. The latter do sometimes disclose what they know is true out of jealousy, though that happens rarely, whereas the former old women who have despaired of further romance are therefore now anxious solely for the welfare of others. I know of a wealthy woman who possessed many slave girls and servants. It was rumored that one of her maids was in love with a young gentleman and that they were behaving badly. Your maid, so-and-so, a friend remarked to her, knows all about the affair and is intimate with every detail. The mistress thereupon laid hold of the maid. She was very cruel in punishing her servants and let her sample such a variety of blows and pummelings as even the toughest men could not endure, hoping the girl would disclose something of the matter. But she betrayed nothing. I also know of a great lady who could recite the Koran from one end to the other, pious, devoted to good works. She happened to obtain possession of a letter written by a boy to his lady love. The boy was the property of a different household. The grand lady let the young man know that she was aware of the romance. He sought to deny everything, but that was impossible. She said to him, "What ails you? Who has ever been immune from love? Don't worry. I will not tell anyone. If I could only buy you for her as my property, even if it took all that I possess, I would gladly do so and put her at your disposal somewhere that you could come to her without anyone being the wiser." 178. As for this reason, why this instinct is so deeply rooted in women, I see no other explanation than they have nothing else to fill their minds except loving union. There's that idea of union again. And then further down, more about union, which, as I said, is the mystic idea of union with the one God. One of the significant aspects of love is union. Look at how he describes it. This is a lofty fortune, exalted rank, a sublime degree, a lucky star named more, it's life renewed, pleasure supreme, joy everlasting, grand mercy withal. It sounds like much more than the physical act of love, doesn't it? I don't think the physical act of love could be described in such terms. I don't know if you've experienced it or not, but I don't think it has that kind of, well, I don't think it has that kind of immensity. It is pure happiness without alloy, the perfect realization of hopes, complete fulfillment of dreams. Well, either this guy is nuts or he's talking about something else. And it may be he's talking about the union of the Sufi with the divine, which sounds to me what he's getting into here. Nothing affects the way that does. Neither intimacy with princes, wealth, not finding after lacking, returning after long absence, security after repose. None of these things so powerfully affects the soul as union with the beloved, especially if it comes after long denial and continual banishment. That's the courtly love ethic right there. And he continues here. Not lovely are any of these things than union with the well-beloved, whose character is virtuous, laudable, has disposition, whose attributes are evenly matched in perfect beauty. Hard to tell if you're talking about men or women half the time. Okay, I will let you read the rest of that yourself. That is Ibn Hazm's treatise on love, a wonderful example of adab. I ask you about adab on the final. I expect you to be able to write something about this. Let me go back to critic material, if I can.